Jason Voorhees has finally entered the world of Dead by Daylight, and he arrives with a plethora of Friday the 13th Easter eggs and references. Dead by Daylight, the hit asymmetrical horror game that's taken the world by storm, is officially hitting its 10th anniversary this year. To celebrate, they promised fans a reveal like no other. Sure enough, after a lengthy 13-hour stream, they unveiled that the iconic slasher Jason Voorhees would finally be added to the game. The announcement has had many fans of the hockey-masked killer excited because of the potential he could bring to the game. On May 26, 2026, Steam players were given the chance to play Jason for the very first time, and reception has been overall very positive. His power is incredibly fun, and he feels fun to boot. However, something that players quickly noticed was that this version of Jason comes with some original concepts. Jason's lore in the game has some heavy ties to the established Dead by Daylight universe as he fights off the unknown before being taken by the entity. He even comes with original cosmetics, rather than direct lifts from the movies. However, this doesn't mean that the developers left out Jason's storied history. Jason's add-ons, which change up his power for each game, are all references to kills and objects found in the Friday the 13th franchise. Discovered by Reddit user The One Who Was Deceived, it's a cool detail for eagle-eyed fans that makes it a fun opportunity for an Easter egg hunt before Jason's release. Friday the 13th Part 2. There are 2 add-ons in Dead by Daylight that pay tribute to Jason's first movie as the main killer for the franchise. The first is a brown add-on called Bent Wheel. This is a reference to Mark's disturbing death, in which Jason slams his machete into his face. The impact causes his wheelchair to roll back and plummet down a flight of stairs. Meanwhile, the purple add-on Deputy's Badge calls back to Deputy Winslow. This police officer is the first to lay eyes on Jason's shack as he follows the killer through the woods. When he happens upon the cabin, he looks inside in terror as he finds the infamous shrine to Jason's mother. Suddenly, Jason kills him from behind with a hammer claw to the skull. Friday the 13th Part 3. The entry that debuted Jason's iconic hockey mask was given a ton of love in Jason's add-ons. For starters, Knitting Needle references the film's second kill, where Jason strikes a convenience store and kills the owner's wife with a needle to the back of her head. Then, I Goop refers to Jason's first on-screen kill with the hockey mask as he shoots a harpoon through Vera's eye. The Burnt Fuse add-on is an Easter egg for Chuck's death as Jason throws him face-first into a fuse box, electrocuting him and short-circuiting the power at Higgins Haven. The hardest reference to spot, though, is the Bloody Magazine. However, when looking closely, fans can see a tiny Godzilla on the left page, hinting at the Fangoria magazine Debbie was reading before being impaled by a machete in a hammock. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. The final chapter is, by far, the sequel that received the most love from the developers with a staggering 5 add-ons referencing the movie. It's clear that this film is easily the Dead by Daylight team's favorite, given how much love is poured into the references for this entry. Both Axel and Robbie, the nurse and coroner that fall victim to Jason in the film's intro, get a mention with the Orderly's Shoe and Coroner's Coffee add-ons. Meanwhile, Crispin Glover's character, George, gets 2 add-ons dedicated to him with Missing Corkscrew and 2 Nails, the latter referring to his corpse being hung in the doorway near the climax. The final nod to the film is the Garden Claw, which refers to Rob's death. While investigating, he's jumped by Jason in the basement and screams, "He's killing me." Later, he's thrown through a window in the Jarvis house with the weapon shoved into his skull. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Jason Lives is often regarded as one of the best films in the Friday the 13th franchise, and the number of references in Jason's add-ons reflects it. In fact, both ultra-rare add-ons, which give Jason a huge boost in power, pay homage to this sequel. Dirty Money calls back to one of the film's earliest kills as Lisbeth unsuccessfully offers Jason money to spare her life. One add-on references one of the film's funniest moments with Bloody Smile. When Jason finds himself in need of his signature machete, he grabs a paintballer hacking through weeds and tosses him into a tree, his face leaving a bloody print on a carved smiley face. Meanwhile, Imprinted Aluminum highlights one of the film's best kills as Jason sneaks onto an RV. He quickly pulls a woman named Nikki into the bathroom and rams her face through the wall, leaving an imprint of her scream on the other side. The final add-on, Iridescent Boat Motor, is an Easter egg of Jason's demise in Jason Lives. During the final battle between Jason and Tommy, Megan begins cranking a boat's motor as he tries to pull her under. When she gets it running, she pushes it into Jason's head and revs the engine until his neck cracks and blood fills the water. Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. While not featuring nearly as many references to the New Blood as Parts 4 and 6, Dead by Daylight still gives fans of the 7th installment some phenomenal Easter eggs to the movie's best moments. Sleeping bag is a callback to one of the most iconic kills in the franchise. When Jason comes across a camper waiting for her boyfriend, she hides herself inside her sleeping bag. He picks it up and drags it to a tree, before whacking it once against the trunk, killing her instantly. Party Noisemaker refers to one of the most amusing deaths in the franchise. When Kate and her boyfriend go out to their van for some alone time, Jason kills her love interest by crushing his skull. He then jumps at Kate when she leans her head out the car window, shoving a party horn in her eye, which makes a hysterical honking sound effect. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. The final film that Dead by Daylight pays homage to is the infamous 8th installment, Jason Takes Manhattan. While the film is often considered one of the weakest sequels, it still features some great kills that the game acknowledges through its